Hi, welcome to Eric's Movie Corner. I'm Eric, and I'm here to talk about movies. Let's do it. All right, so as I record this where I live, it is cold outside, the wind is blowing, and the snow is falling, and I figured it was the perfect time for me to bring you my winter movie marathon. Today, I'm going to be going through a list of movies that I like to enjoy when the weather is cold outside. I think it's kind of fun to watch cold weather movies while it's blustery. I like to look out the window and see the snow blowing and match the screen of what I'm watching. It's kind of fun, I think. So, I'm going to be going through a list of movies that are based in a cold climate setting. And I'm going to be going through these in alphabetical order. There is no ranking here. And in my world, numbers come before letters when you're ranking alphabetically. So we're going to start with 30 Days of Night. This movie has an intriguing premise that I'm surprised nobody did before this came out, which is that there's a town in Alaska where every year it gets dark for 30 days straight. You don't see the sun. And what better place for vampires to hang out? So, this is a movie about a small town that gets overrun by vampires because they're going to have darkness for 30 days straight. And the vampires like to party it up. So, that's a cold weather movie recommendation right there, 30 Days of Night. Next on the list, we have the Dead Snow movies. There's actually Dead Snow and then Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. These are a couple of movies set in the snow that also have some humor to them. They could be classified as horror comedies. They're also part of a very specific subgenre of horror movies, which is Nazi zombie movies. Yes, these movies feature Nazis who come back to life to get their gold. So, these movies are some goofy, gory fun. If you're into that kind of thing, check them out, the Dead Snow movies. Next on the list, we have Frozen. No, not that Frozen, the good Frozen. This movie is directed by Adam Green and features three friends who get stuck in a ski lift just as a ski lodge closes down after the weekend. It's three friends stuck up in the air about 50 feet above the ground with no easy way out in the bitter, bitter, bitter cold. I like this movie a lot because I kind of groove on movies that are people in one place talking to each other. If you don't groove on that kind of movie, maybe skip this one. But this is a good one. So, Frozen, not the Disney one. 2010, directed by Adam Green. Next on this list is a movie called The Grey, starring Liam Neeson. I love this movie. I own it on Blu-ray and I watch it every single year. It's about a group of men who work for an oil company. On the way home, their plane crashes in Alaska, and so they have to first survive that and then deal with a pack of wolves that finds them appealing. So, The Grey is a great, great movie. There's a scene in this movie. This happens early, so it's a little bit of a spoiler, but doesn't ruin the movie. There's a scene earlier in this movie where somebody is dying, and Liam Neeson talks them through their death. And man, when I go, I just want Liam Neeson to be there to talk me through my death, because he's good at it. Anyway, great movie. Check it out. Next on the list is Misery. Misery is a story about a famous author who, after finishing a draft of his latest novel, runs off the road in a snowstorm and gets rescued by his number one fan. As we get further and further into the story, we realize that this woman might not be the best person to have to rely on for your well-being. So, if you haven't seen Misery, even if you have seen Misery already, watch it again. This is a great movie. It's not entirely cold weather, so it's a little bit of a cheat, but it's so awesome I wanted to include it. Because it starts off with him crashing in the snow. Next on the list is The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. This is a great movie. It's set in the cold. Old-timey frontiersmen battling the wilderness. It's pretty cool. Definitely cold involved in this movie. So yeah, if you haven't seen this for some reason, it is a cinematic masterpiece, and Leonardo DiCaprio is fantastic in it. So, The Revenant. Next one on the list, The Shining. Now, I think The Shining is a little bit overrated. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for that, but it's how I feel. But it's still a good movie, and it is definitely a cold weather movie. Family stuck in a hotel during winter. And of course, that last shot of the movie, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It is a cold weather movie. So this is another good one to watch while it's cold outside. Next on the list, we have John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. This movie is set in Antarctica. So yes, about as cold weather as you can get. This is one of the best horror movies ever made, in my opinion. This is another one I own on Blu-ray and watch every year, maybe even more than once, just because I like it so much. It has some of the best practical effects you'll ever see. So, definitely check out John Carpenter's The Thing. Fun to watch while it's cold outside. Just keep your flamethrower handy. Next on the list is a movie called Wind Chill. This is one of Emily Blunt's earlier roles. She did it right after she did The Devil Wears Prada. And this is about two college students. They don't have names in the movie, but they're driving home for break, and they run off the road in the winter weather and are stuck in the car, kind of freezing to death while things happen around them. Maybe something supernatural? So yeah, check this out. It's a good cold weather one for sure. This last one on the list is kind of a bummer, to be honest. It's called Wind River. It's an excellent movie, and it is about the investigation into the death of a missing girl who goes missing in bad weather and freezes to death. So this movie touches some sensitive topics about the mistreatment of young women, particularly Native American young women, and might be a little much for some. It is dark. It is a bummer, but it's definitely a cold weather movie. And it's, even though it's so dark, it is an excellent movie. All the acting and the film craft of this are fantastic. So, this is another recommendation for your cold weather movie list, Wind River. So that's my movie list for the winter. Sorry I've been gone for a little while. I had some issues going on. I got sick and couldn't talk for a little while, which makes this hard to do. I've also just had some equipment issues going on, but hopefully I'm back on track now. My goal for 2022 is to get out a review for each movie that I have a poster for and a little montage that I use at the beginning and the end of each of these. So that is what I hope to accomplish this year. I'm going to be trying and posting at least weekly. Ultimately, I'd love to post twice a week. I don't know if I can keep that up, though. But I'm going to try and stay on track at least weekly to bring you guys some more reviews. So, if you enjoyed this, give it a like below, hit the subscribe button to get more, and if you want to get notified when I post something new, hit the bell, and you'll get a notification when that happens. Tell your friends to come check it out and like and subscribe as well, and if they tell their friends and everybody tells their friends, I will rule the universe! Woo! Thanks for stopping by Eric's Movie Corner. I'll talk to you next time.